Hello, welcome. My name is Augustine Emeka Ekene. Today, I'm going to be making a presentation on the topic Deep Learning as a tool to predict flow pattern. Introduction. The term flow pattern refers to the spatial distribution of the phase which occur during gas-liquid two-phase flow in pipes. When gases and liquid flow simultaneously in a pipe, the two phases can distribute themselves in a variety of flow patterns or configurations. The flow configuration differ from each other in interface distribution, resulting in different flow patterns. So whenever there is a combination of gas and liquid flow inside a pipe, we can see things like bubbly flow. This is bubbly flow. This is a combination of gas and liquid. We can see wavy flow, we can see plug, we can see slug, we can see stratified or annular. So this is what we call flow patterns. It can be this or this. The essence of this our project is to be able to classify every flow into either bubbly, wavy, annular or stratified, given the superficial velocity of the gas or the liquid phase. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, going forward with this introduction, determination of flow pattern is a fundamental problem in two-phase flow analysis. Indeed, the design variables, namely phase velocity, pressure drop, liquid hold-up, heat and mass transfer coefficients, resident time distribution, and rate of chemical reaction calculations all depend on flow pattern, and that is what we're going to be able to classify this flow pattern in order for us to make all these calculations, because all these calculations are dependent on the flow pattern. Now, these are the various flow patterns that we have in horizontal pipe. So the essence of this project is to be able to, given a superficial velocity of gas and liquid and pipe diameter, we should be able to say that this very flow should be a bubbly flow or wavy flow, so that we can use the model for bubbly or wavy to do the calculation for the parameters that we earlier listed, like phase velocity, pressure drop, and the rest of them. The determination of flow pattern is a fundamental problem in gas-liquid two-phase flow, because with the knowledge of the flow pattern, we can easily determine the phase velocity, the liquid hold-up, the heat and mass transfer coefficients, as well as the pressure drop needed for our design. Now, statements of the problem. Artificial neural networks have been used to identify and predict flow patterns. Because of the increase in computing power, researchers have developed deep learning techniques which are of great significance in process design, as the determination of flow pattern is needed for pressure drop and other calculations in process design. In many of these calculations, algorithms based on deep learning have surpassed the previous state-of-the-art performance. This research will explore the use of valuable tool of deep learning to solve the problem of flow pattern classification in horizontal pipes to a greater efficiency. Objective and or aim of the study. Number 1, to identify and predict flow patterns in horizontal pipes. 2, to assess the impact of architectural parameters to flow pattern prediction efficiency. Significance of study or justification. Why are we doing this? This research will add to literature on the use of valuable tool of deep learning to solve the problem of flow pattern classification in horizontal pipes to a greater efficiency. The research will help to give a broader idea in the application of deep learning to other areas of chemical engineering. Literature review. There are works that have already been done on this, but they have their limitation, like the work of Benin in 1980 on flow pattern transition for gas liquid flow in horizontal and inclined pipes. They had the result that there is actually a proof that this method can be used to classify for horizontal pipe using the theory they postulated, but they had the limitation that the theory fails to predict the stratified smooth to stratified wavy transition for inclined plane. This is significant only for downward flow. So when you look at the limitation from the last work that was done in 2007, you see that it was said that if there is this exhaustive study of the parameters, that better predictions can be obtained. And that is what I'm doing in this, that is what is done in this research work. We are trying to do a exhaustive study of the parameters for the architecture so that we can get better predictions. Now, materials and methods. What are the materials and methods used in this very research? In this research, feed-forward normal network known as multilayer perceptron is used. The first step in using the multilayer perceptron is determining an appropriate architecture. This means that we must determine the number of hidden units, the number of hidden layers, the type of activation function, as well as the number of input and output variables. The second step involves determining a training algorithm to estimate the weights and biases of MLP, which is multilayer perceptron. This involves iteratively solving an optimization problem to estimate the network's weights and biases so that the network output is as close to the desired output as possible. Now, what are the applications? Now, what's the essence of all this flow pattern determination and studying to do the right prediction in order to do calculations? This is actually because we can use this flow pattern in many industrial applications, like in pneumatic conveying system, in cyclone separators, in air pumps, in geyser pumps, in fuel injectors, in water jet machining, and in slurry type of transport pipeline. Now, what results are we expecting in this research? In this approach, a multilayer perceptron is trained on a set of randomly selected samples. Approximately 60% of the entire data set was used for training. Approximately 20% was used for testing. The next table we are going to see, table 2, shows the chosen multilayer perceptron architecture and parameters used in the experiment. Other design considerations are the choice of ReLU as the nonlinear activation function, the E1 and E2 regularization penalties to avoid overfitting, the number of epochs and end folds, the number of cross-validation folds. Expected result. What is the essence of this research? What are we supposed to see? What are we supposed to learn? We are supposed to, like in the objective, learn how to classify the flow patterns into the annular, wavy, or the rest of them. But now, to classify, we need specific architectural parameters. So that is the essence of this study, to find out these architectural parameters in order to do this classification. So by the end of this result, we are going to be seeing a table like this showing us the various parameters and their values. So the various values and their parameters, that is what we are supposed to do. This is similar from literature, what results from this similar research gave. So in our own, we are going to be finding the best number of inputs, the best number of hidden layers, the best number of hidden or layer topology, the best activation function, the best number of outputs in order to make better prediction. Conclusion. This paper is supposed to propose 6 types of flow pattern and a corresponding architecture to precisely predict flow pattern. First, it is shown that the network can learn surprisingly well as using a chosen architecture and parameter allow the achievement of high classification accuracy. Second, it is shown that the network can classify the different flow patterns with high efficiency. And finally, high precision predicting different combination of classes was achieved or is going to be achieved from this research. And these are the literature books that we are referenced, the journals that we are referenced for this work. Thank you for listening.